What hobby did you pick up during quarantine times that you will likely keep? Not wearing a bra. These days I consider it an achievement to put on a sports bra, but underwire is way too much. You guys were being productive. All I did this whole quarantine so far is taking naps whenever I want and playing video games all day. I'll miss it once it's over. Running a lot more and dieting. I have a treadmill I rarely use, but I started running a 5K every day since beginning of quarantine. I'm down 23 pounds, and I've also improved my 3-mile time to 16:55. Not the best, but I'm proud. Edit. Also joined in MMA and BJJ. Monsieur, I've already wrestled for years but wanted to pick up another martial art. Gonna be so fun. Can't wait. The story of how I got motivated is kinda funny. I was just sitting there stoned watching Joe Rogan's podcast with Kevin Hart on it. And goddamn, that dude speaks facts on there. Kevin is actually a good ass source of motivation. Give that episode a watch. Wouldn't that be like a 17:35K? Dude, I've run 5 to 7 times a week for the last 4 years, and on a perfect day I could maybe hit 1800. For a 5K, that is not at all a slow time. Major props. Thanks. I did realize that running on a treadmill is much easier though. My time decreased by a minute or two when I actually ran on the road. I guess because the treadmill forces you to keep a steady pace. Plus it's perfectly flat. My wife picked up sewing when the corona thing started. She has since sewn dozens of masks, and we've delivered them to a hospital and to our family doctors. I tried to pick it up with her. Even managed to sew a couple of masks. She learned it much quicker than me though. Now she's starting to sew dresses for our daughter. She'll definitely keep on doing it. Yeah, my wife is doing the same thing. It takes her forever to make one mask too. Nevertheless, she has a few drinks and has told everyone in her family she's sending them masks. We will all die of old age before she's done. Got into Reddit. Big mistake. Being nice to my sister. Fun fact, I just found out how much I really love her and how happy I am when she is happy. Picked up the guitar that I bought 8 years ago but never used. Worked my way up to 12 pull-ups. And doing other body weight exercises as well. And I started running 2 to 3 times per week. Just to be outside. I'm a little jealous right now about the working out part. I never got to 12 pull-ups. How do you train them? Be a server. Buzzer. My arms were stronger as a waiter than they were as a soldier. Binge drinking. Binge day drinking. Binge all day drinking. Eating too much and not exercising. Drawing and painting. Gardening. Each day, except Sunday. I play 8 of Bach's * well-tempered clavier * preludes and fugues. By repeating the cycle every week, I cover all 48 of the pieces on a weekly basis, a goal I've always wanted to achieve, but never had the time to accomplish until quarantine. Drinking almost every night. Almost every night. The only night I've skipped is when I'm so hungover from the previous night I would puke at the smell of a drink. Hair of the dog. Cleaning house a little bit every day. I've become more efficient at it and I can finish cleaning both bathrooms in an hour. Skateboarding. I started a week before quarantine and I've been loving it. Drug addiction also. Happy cake day smiley face. True. My roommates and I probably developed some light alcoholism that likely won't stay light. And thank you. Learning blender. Who knew making a donut could be so excruciating? I don't think you're supposed to put donuts in the blender. IDK if you're joking or not, but if not, Blender is a 3D modeling and rendering software. If you are, then my lol. Planning my breakfast the day before and getting out of bed as soon as I wake up. I could lie in bed scrolling my phone for hours not feeling like eating, but if I know I've got a chia pudding, smoothie bowl, oat mug cake, homemade bread, blueberry banana muffin, banana pancake waiting for me in the fridge, I get up and my day starts so much better. Learning how to say, I don't know any. Insert language or speaker by here. But this sentence. Example. I don't know any Dutch, but this sentence equals ik ken geen Nederlands meer die zin. I now know how to say this phrase in like 16 different languages. 'Cause why not? Haha. You would get some confused look saying that. Unfortunately, it should be ik ken geen Nederlands. Alleen die zin. We don't really use but like that. Rather, the English word just should be used. Alleen in Dutch, as in only, exclusively. If you said it to a Dutch person like that without context, they would understand it as I don't know any Dutch. But this sentence, like they're two separate sentences. One being unfinished. X3 masturbation in a row, happy cake day smiley face. You gotta pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers. Exclamation mark. Patience and a refocus on things that are actually important. And going for a walk. Depression naps to circumvent suicidal thoughts. Might sound a little weird, but yard work. Growing up, I always fucking hated doing any kind of yard work. Particularly because I grew up in TN and mowing the lawn during the summers, there were just absolute misery. Then after spending most of my adult years living in apartments in various cities, my wife and I bought our first house roughly 10 years ago. Back in TN, and sure enough, well, we made that yard look amazing. I still hated every single second of mowing, hedge trimming, raking in 98-degree heat and humidity, to the point that after a few years, I gave up and just paid other people to do it. We eventually sold that house and bought in Seattle, which had a bigger outdoor space, but it was completely hardscaped. No grass. No hedges that needed constant trimming, as it was mostly camellias, ferns, cypress, and Japanese yews. Literally all I had to do was weed it, and make sure anything I planted got watered regularly. And though I admit I didn't care much for doing that either, as weeding could take a lot of time. Side note, fuck horsetails. I was cool with doing the bare minimum, especially since I was also working a 70-hour-per-week job at the time. So managing even that much could be a challenge, because my weekends often weren't free at all, and it was a large yard that could get completely overrun with weeds if you couldn't get to it for a few weeks. 6 months ago we bought our current house, and the yard is small and flat, though very nice. We'd already been making plans for what we wanted to do with the landscaping. And here in quarantine, I find myself looking for excuses to go do something constructive in the yard. Because it's a small space that's easy to manage, and has no hills I have to drag equipment up and down. Both previous houses did, and most importantly, the PNW weather is extremely mild. I find myself looking forward to killing time in the yard listening to podcasts while mowing, weeding, watering, replanting, etc. Unlike the past, it doesn't feel like a burden at all, and I've spent more time on yard work in the last 2 months than in the last 5 years. Weekly game nights with my friends who live across the country. We started it as part of reconnecting during quarantine, but I'm hoping we keep it up. I have always wanted to learn how to roller skate, and my skates just arrived yesterday. I'm hoping to eventually learn Hal's skating routine, just for fun. Working out to tone my body. My booty is peachy perfect now, and I want to keep it that way. Also, not buying that much random shit when I'm downtown. Quarantine saved me a lot of money. Eating processed sugars, saturated fats, caffeine, and salt, haha. Online shopping. It's fun being excited for something to arrive. Yoga smiley face. Learning Japanese. Drawing, modeling, voice acting, and play Minecraft. Okay, now I'm curious. How do you pick up modeling and voice acting when you are not supposed to leave the house? I have a studio on my house. I've actually lost weight because of the increase in physical activity from my new job at Walmart. Y'all are buying out everything, and helping move it out onto the shelves is great exercise. Archery. Making bread and buns. Taking care of my skin. I picked up a butterfly knife trainer. Not allowed to have a real one yet, and I'm currently learning some tricks. Cultivating mass. crying on my sofa and watching Beverly Hills 90210 all day every day. Sumi Nagashi, a form of Japanese ink art. Everyone else is so healthy. But I bought a GameCube and Paper Mario in the 1,000-Year Door. I'm essential, so I'm not out of work. But I'm home when I'm not working. So I have a lot of time on my hands. If you've never played the game, it came out in 2004 and is, quite literally, the best game I've ever played. Also, video games in general have become a big thing. My son is 10, and he is on the spectrum. So it is difficult to bond with Monsieur. We have been staying up late playing video games a lot. And it is so incredible to get to spend time with him. And have him really enjoy himself. I quit smoking, so got that going for me. Hating idiots I see on the rare occasion I go to the store. I had mild dislike for them before. But now, the level of idiocy on both sides of differing politics and science and going back to work just makes me infuriated. I used to see the world with rose-colored glasses. Now I see those types in blood red. And I emphasize that it's both sides of the political, global spectrum that are a minority of the entire scope of the world's population. We just need to stop the media from highlighting the idiots so much. And get people to stop being interested in looking at virtual roadkill, baking and messing with makeup, hula hooping. I've always wanted to learn how to move the hoop from my chest to my knees and back again. So now I'm trying. It's a good workout too. Writing awful poetry about my pathetic feelings really cathartic. Duolingo. Took Spanish in high school and college and am trying to relearn. Though I never learned it very well the first time. Warhammer 40k. Playing ukulele. I was in orchestra for years but never really had any musical talent. I still don't, but ukulele is pretty easy and extremely fun. Note-taking and list-making. It sounds boring and basic, but I found that during, before class, writing down things that I need to do, thoughts, assignments have made me a much more organized person, and the feeling of crossing something off the list is a very good one. I've started to do 20 pull-ups a day, not all at once. I'm still quite weak. I feel great. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.